Hey, Egyptian, how are you? Hey, everybody, how are you guys? Good night. Are you going to bed? What time is it? Hey, Sally, long time no see, no hear, no talk. Hey, Chris, how you doing? God bless you. Chris, I responded to you to your message. I don't know if you received it, but hey, tally ho. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I were you, if I had anything to sell to get the 5,000 and just put it away. You know what I mean? Like do a one shot thing, you get just put it away. Most people don't have 50,000 XRP. Most people don't have 100,000 XRP. I mean, like if you're not buying from 2016 or 2018 and you don't have gobs of money, if you're a middle class person who earns say $75,000 a year, you have debt, you have a mortgage, you have this and that, a car note. Yeah, it's not yeah. No, that's fine. I'm not complaining, Sally. It's just good to see you. That's all. Yeah. It's I know some of my OGs from you know and all the people that I've coached who are still members of my channel. I appreciate them all, right? It's 1 year. um I will be in Houston on November 6th, arriving November 5th by the grace of God. Looking forward to a great evening, a great time out there. So yeah. No, thank you, Chris. Okay, cool. Cool. Hey, my life, how you doing? All right, I'm asking a question. How much XRP do you need now? um You don't need to tell me how much you have, but just say how much you think people need. How much you think you need, and what's your rationale. Then I'll tell you what I think. Okay. I also want to talk about something else. How much XRP you need? Let me see if I can update the title. Okay, I updated the title. I don't know if you can see to okay, $30,000 or 30,000 units. You're so young, versatile. Oh my God. I thought you were an old guy. You should set up a meeting with me. You're one of my patron members. All the patron members who are paying $97 should set up a meeting with me. I need to know where you are. I want to know your health. Spiritually, I want to know your crypto health as well. There's a lot, guys, we can do together. I'm telling you. Don't just see it as oh, it's just one. No, there's so much. Versatile. Okay, so I'm going to tell you. So I think here's what I think. I think between 3,500 to 5,000 XRP would be a good bet. Egyptian says about um three three 30,000. That's okay, but 30,000 XRP, if you're just starting out, you would need today, excuse me, 30,000 XRP today, you would need $75,000 to buy 30,000 XRP if you're just buying everything boom at once, right? So most people don't have that. But you can, of course, be buying over time. Now, those people who have money in retirement, they don't want to take out that money to buy lump sum like that, right? So, um, My thinking and lifestyle, tell me why you think so. Tell me why you think so. I really want to know what you guys think. So I think the reason why I'm saying this is because it's nice for people to have a kind of a window where they want to be. Yes, 5,000 XRP is enough if you hold other coins. Officially been grown. We have our funny people coming into the room. Yeah, it's a lot of bread. I mean, 5,000 is at today's prices, you're looking at 12 grand. But this is what I say: do whatever you can to accumulate between 3 and 5,000 XRP. 1,000 is good, 500 is good, but if you have a goal, hey, Daniel Smith is in the room. Whatever you can get your hands on, I agree, Daniel. I do agree. I'm going there. Whatever you can get your hands on. But if you have please like the video. Somebody tell everybody to like the video. I can't see the YouTube video because I'm not on YouTube right now. Like I'm streaming off a third party app, so I can't see. But if you like the video, you bring people in. God said he 1K minimum, especially if he's going to do what it was made to do. I just like this. I like this comment. Oh my God. What I like about this comment is not, it says 1K minimum, especially if it's going to do what it was made to do. I like the comment because, not because of the 1K, but because of the rest of it. If it's going to do what it was made to do, friends, I'm telling you, I like officially Rome. I like what you're saying there. I am telling you, if it does what it was made to do, right? If it does what it was meant to do, God said, "Who are you?" I don't know. I don't know if we've ever met before, but I know you're on my channel. But I'm telling you, it makes sense. Versatile, that's okay. You don't have to have every coin, but you could also have a meme on the side. The advantage, actually, I found a meme recently that I think is a good opportunity. I'm not going to tell you guys yet until I'm sure of it. Okay, I think we're going to see this meme explode, and it's not expensive. So I'm researching it. Give me some time. Like, just like, I don't want to. I don't like to tell people things and then end up feeling like, oh, why did I even say it? And so I want to be sure of it. It's an X coin. It's not X spin, so don't start to run ahead of me. But I'm hoping that it'll do what it's meant to do. Right now, it has great potential, and it's at a low market cap. So I'm expecting it to do some wonders. I can see it doing 1,000x. I'm not kidding. So I just want to research a little bit more. If I don't find anything solid to say, I won't say it. Okay. Okay. So for meme coins, I think, hey, Pastor Carter, how you doing? Tommy Thiessen, how you doing? 805 Southern Burrito. How you doing? Yes, these three, gold, silver, and copper, it has been established. We've seen it in documents. I've stopped sharing some of those documents here. I sparingly share things anymore. I will share, but not that detailed. I see that it doesn't really help the channel, and I want the channel to grow. I mean, I'm hoping that in the next 1 year I can get up to another 10,000 subscribers. That will take us to about 25,000. But I want to also grow the Patreon. So if you are, I'm going to be like dialing down on the membership. So if you're a member, go and follow me on Patreon. You can cancel your one on YouTube, and we're down by about, I would say, maybe 10% membership. So from 155, we're at 144. 157 to 144. So we didn't hit 160. We didn't get up to 200, but it'd be nice to have about 200 partners and supporters on Patreon. On Patreon, you have to be at the $97 mark and above to get everything that I put out there. The $6.50, you get lives, you get like this live I'm doing here, you get access to it, and questions and answer, like AMAs, you get those. I'll do that, no problem. But the detailed thing where I show people, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I'm setting you up. If you don't know, for generational wealth, if you do know, okay, praise God. If you're able to do it on your own, I'm happy for you. But if you need help, somebody to hold your hands, it's It's a question of time. It's on there. You can go and get all the information. And as things change and I become aware of stuff, I'll help you. You know what I found out? People are busy. People are busy, and a lot of times people don't have time. They have time to learn something, but to keep learning and growing and developing in it is another. It's a cog. I face it too. So it's a sacrifice. You invest time, and hopefully you get rewarded down the line. I didn't come on here to make money really, but it's not bad if I make and if I get additional income from doing what I do here. But I find that information is not for everybody, right? When WikiCat gets on Coinbase, it's going to be crazy. That thing will shoot up. It'll be wild because it already has about 140,000 holders. Please check it for me now if it's still 140,000. All right, so let's go now back to the better health. I'll answer your question in a bit. Okay, let me focus on how much XRP we need. Okay, so if you figure that you need an additional $50,000. Let me just say this. I think people should be aiming for $100,000 of income a year from their investments, minimum $100,000 coming back to you from your investment every year. And that means you want to get between anything from 3 to 7% is a North American average for the markets, right? So which means if you have money, you want to get, but I don't like the 3%, but it can happen. So it means on $1 million you should have 30,000, so which means you need to have at least 5 million to be able to get uh that much, right? To be able to get $100,000 and above, between 3 and 7%. This is how I think you should calculate. Tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody tell me this. Chris, you've been experienced in over the years in being in construction, in being in the different things you've done. Tell me if you think I'm right. Anybody else on here? Daniel, what do you think? Hey, Vishak, good to see you on here, brother. I just heard your beautiful name mentioned. I was talking to Kryptonite earlier, and yeah. So I'm doing three things tonight. How much XRP you need? I'm talking about prices. My prediction. The prediction is not a prophecy because I didn't hear anything in my dreams. I didn't hear anything. I didn't receive anything from what I've received before. But I've taken what I've seen in the night visions. I've added it to the things that have happened, because you see, you have to know how to research. Even the scripture says we should be like Bereans, right? The Berean brethren. Why? Because they were more noble. They did research. They engaged. They studied what it was that was in the scripture and applied it to themselves. Not like the Thessalonians, who are excited and emotional about things. In the crypto space, you don't want to run on emotions. You want to have knowledge. You want to see what's happening. Let me tell you, a lot is changing. And there's something about those of us who have been involved and engaged in this space. It's not how knowledgeable we are, it's the fact that we have momentum. And some of us are gifted, but as the momentum we have already helps us. If you are at a stoplight and a car is parked and you are coming in and the stoplight just changes to amber and green and you haven't fully stopped, you can take off very easily. That's what momentum does. Okay, so this is why it's good to be engaged. This is why it's good for you to be minting Flare, FXRP, and all of that. So how much XRP do you need? So if you feel that you can do 100, I'm recommending plan $100,000 income. That's why 3,000 to 5,000 XRP makes sense, because 3,000 XRP at $500 for one XRP, okay, will give you 1.5 million. Now, if you multiply that by 5%, that's $75,000 a year. Do you see how closer you're getting? So that's how I think you should do the math. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm telling you how I think, what I do, what I'm doing. I did it with real estate. And when I look today, over the years, the thing is, real estate is slow. If you're not buying and refurbishing, renovating houses to sell, adding a room, doing whatever, because there are some markets that are so how would I say, so liquid, so because there's a lot of movement happening. Like in Calgary, for example, you can make a ton of money just doing certain things, but it's a boom and bust market. It can really go bust, it can go boom, depends on the oil industry, but there is quite the population. That's Calgary. Okay, Toronto, I'm talking about Canada, where I'm very conversant with. I can't tell you much about Chicago, but the principles of real estate is similar and the same everywhere. How money moves, similar, same everywhere. What is done to make money move in real estate is different from place to place, but the principles are the same. And principles do not respect geography, they don't respect race or ethnicity, they just work. They say money is what makes the world go round. So, what you need to do, in my opinion, so let me give you a real estate. So I give you an example. I bought a house that I've rented out for a long time, and I remember with amortization, when you rent a property out and you're paying down your mortgage, depending on how the loan is amortized, the shorter your amortization for rental property, the more money you make over time. The quicker you pay your mortgage, and so you are home free quicker, because with amortization, the first 5 years or 10 years, you find that it's like you're just paying the bank and whatever. But after a while, you begin to see, oh my, this is not working out too badly. And when you do your math and you calculate, you see with rent increases, etc., you might be surprised that you are making more money than the credit card company. Why? Because the credit card company charges you 22%, those that are not kind to you if you don't have a good rate. By the way, you can actually call your credit card company and tell them to reduce your rate by half. Just ask. Just ask them. If you're going through that, right, just ask. I've done it before. You just call them, you say, well, I'm paying this much. They say, oh, no, the reason why, okay, I want you to do it this way, or I'm going to move my balance to somebody else, then you don't get to eat from me. I'm gone. You see what I mean? So you can do that. Okay, so many things to say. So I've seen that work in real estate, and I believe it can work here too. You want to look at a point in your investment where you are getting $100,000 a year. Why am I saying this? Because milk, a jug of milk, I don't know how much it is right now in your city. How much is a jug of milk? Um, a jug of milk is like $4.99, $5.99, $6.99, depending on where you are, and that's Canadian. What is it in the U.S. in U.S. money? I remember seeing milk at less than $1, 99 cents. It was like, come take it and just get out of the store. Now milk is going to be like 3 times the price today. An apple will be way more than what we're paying right now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, just look at a dozen of apples and divide it. So, by the price, you'll be surprised how much things have gone up. I told you about the brown paper bag they're giving us here because of climate change. Those paper bags have now gone up to 25 cents. And I was, why? Like, what happened? It went all the way from 5 cents to 25 cents in less than 5 years. But people don't know this, right? Because it's just 25 cents, just a quarter. But that's how other things have also exploded in price. All right. So I would just be cautious to plan and for $100,000 in income that is residual while you are still able to work, because you can do some things, you can drive an Uber, you can do all kinds of things. And then I would say, if you are in crypto today, I want to appeal to you, take a course. Take a course that has to do something with the future, right? Look around. I can give you some. I'm going to do some of those things on Patreon, talking about the things you could do. See, there are courses now that are not yet in the universities, and you can do them for pennies on the dollar right now before it gets into the universities, because the world is going to find out that there's no value in studying some of the things people are studying today. It doesn't make sense. It won't get jobs for people, and people still have to work somehow. And you've got to have skills that AI can't take from you. So I would say this is something you should do in addition to planning the future. In the next 5 years, the world will change so much that people will not even, and there's going to be despair because people were not prepared. They all thought it was a joke. They all thought it was whatever. So we're going to see that happen. So let me see, what else was I talking about? Give me a second here. So how much XRP you need is, I want you to calculate based on 100,000 and above income. This is for people who don't have tons of money. This is for people who are in the middle class right now, and all you are doing is looking at, okay, how can I make more money? There are people who make $100,000 a month. They make $100,000 a week. I'm not talking to those people. They have a lot of money to put into these things, and um, so why am I still bullish this year? Let me take some questions before I go to that. 5% is a low risk. Questions and comments. Very low risk, says Daniel. You can earn more. You just need a strategy. I agree. But you know what? You have to start with low risk. Most people are low risk. Would you agree with me? Hello guys, Tabo on the edge. How you doing? Good to see you on here. Sydney's family says, so true. Sally, that's what I need help learning. I've self-taught myself so much, but I've been so busy I feel behind in learning about wrapping, XRP, and Flare and other similar topics. Follow me on if you can afford it, just join me on Patreon. You can remove your membership on YouTube and roll that into the Patreon membership. I think it'll be beneficial. Sydney's family says so true. Constance Shumba, great insights. Daniel, you can tell us how you can get more money. 5x XRP at $500 at 5% is 125K. Exactly. 2K XRP at 1,000 earning 5%. You got it. You got the drift. It's the principles of the thing. Yes, I agree with those numbers. The principles of the thing. What does that mean? So once you have 5 million, only take 3%. You're saying that would be 150K. No. Versatile. What I mean is, so you remind me. My son is 25, going to be 25 in December. So you're about the same age. So I'm proud of you. I'm telling you. If you have 2,400 XRP, you are a 10% holder. And here's what happens: as the groundswell happens, those who have only 3,000 XRP, you will also rise with the tide. That's what's going to happen. That's what you are in a very good position. All right. WikiCat has 145. Thank you, Chris, for being quick on that. Vishak says, hello. Flair may get an ETF soon. All right. That's good to know. We owe you a burrito, my friend. Thank you for all the info. Oh my God. Hey, Pastor Carter. Okay. Should we also be buying Flare? Yes, sir. Better health. Are you a guy or a girl? We should be buying more XRP. Which is better to buy, or do we wait until XRP gains more value? If you are able to buy crypto now, why are you waiting for Flare to get to $5? I think Flare is going to be I think the price will go up. I had a concern for Flare. I didn't increase my Flare bag because I felt I've had Flare for a long time, and I've been, earning Flare on it about 3% per month. But here's the problem. Is that 3% per month? Let me see. Yeah, I've been making good on Flare. So let's see. Yeah, I was I basically doubled my Flare in 1 year. So, but let me tell you, I think I made a mistake. I should have done more with Flare. The reason is I was concerned. The reason why I didn't do more Flare was I was concerned that, when the airdrops end with Flare, excuse me, what's going to happen after? The prices may just crash as people are trying to get out of the gate and sell. But because of the airdrops, you've also seen Flare go up and down in price, up and down in price. So there's never been, but there was one time it really did a spike. So, but here's the thing. Now that I look at the ecosystem, I've studied what they're doing in the future. And Hugo Filion saying, look, our goal is to have 6 to 8 billion XRP under our control, under our management. Here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Do you think don't you think that is one of the non-disclosures disclosing themselves? Because Ripple has always been partnered with Flare during the development stages, and they even put money into Flare, which they did not disclose. So when you are putting money in something and you don't disclose it because you don't want people to know, then it's one of the 1,750 non-disclosures. Are you tracking with me right now? And if that's the case, it's one of the 1,750 non-disclosures. Well, what are we talking about here? Oh, they just remember I said, if you want to know what's in a non-disclosure, just sit on a park bench and watch the non-disclosure people go by. Oh, you will soon find out what is in the non-disclosure, because the non-disclosures have a way over time of disclosing themselves. So they didn't tell us how much they invested in Flare. Now we hear that Flare is going to do FXRP first before anyone else. Then they now do Bitcoin. They will do, even XLM is coming onto the Flare platform. They will have Doge. Think about that. So there'll be quite the selection of crypto assets, digital assets that are coming onto the Flare network. I find that interesting. I believe that this is something that has been planned and worked on for a very long time. So, yeah. Yes, we're talking about all of that in DeFi. There's staking, there's yield farming, there's all kinds of earnings, and there's lending as well. You can also borrow money out of DeFi. What I like about DeFi, I've said this a lot, is that you can invest into DeFi, earn 3%, 5%, 6%, 7%, 9%, and still borrow what you have lent at 30% of what take 30% loan to value or 50% max for a good loan health, and still use that money that you borrowed from what you invested. It just makes sense. It just makes real financial sense. Other than what the banks have now, where you put your money in the banking system and they make all the money and give you peanuts. I showed you on one of the lives a few days ago what one of the biggest banks here would charge. Would give you for interest. Yet people are taking car loans and they make money out of thin air. Robert Kiyosaki says it's just an idea. They just print it. They just print it in the air. It's just not there. It's just an idea. Let's just make money and people can borrow. Yes, flare drops end in January 2026, and the emissions on the flare network ends in July. So I was really worried that, man, it might just, maybe I should just sell half of my flare in December. But looking at the entire plan and what it is that they're doing, I don't see this as a rug pull. I don't see this as somebody who's just a fly by night thing. I think they're very serious about what they want to do. Again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. There is a huge network. XRP had no way to operate in DeFi. So you have the XRP Fi. Well, you have also Doppler Finance. How many of you have actually looked into Doppler? Doppler Finance. So I'm going to show you Doppler Finance just for a little bit of info here. Sorry. So that's Doppler Finance. Okay, you can download the app, go study them, see who they are, what they do. Built on numbers, driven by users. This is the total value locked at this point is 98 million. Now, the XRP Vault APY is 3.50%, and the estimated RLUSD Vault APY would be 8.5. Remember, with the stable coins, you get the most money. All right, you get the most money. Deposit 1,000 XRP on Doppler versus just holding. So if you deposit XRP for 1,000, say you got 1,004 XRP and you lock it for 135 days, just it tells you how much. For a 109 days, you got 1.07%. 364, you got 3.77, which basically goes along with what they have here, just a little bit higher, 0.20 percentage points. And in 5 years, there you go. You got at 358 days locked, you got 3.70, 3.77, 2.70%. Then they've got the 5-year chart where you look at this and you just keep going for 5 years, and 1820% locked, you get 20% point that and that. Well, there's it's what I'm seeing here, okay, is opportunity. What I'm seeing here is learning. I wouldn't jump into any of these things. I will just learn them for my life. I don't know if you have any information on any of these things. What are you saying wow about my life? Um the flare drops ending Thabo on the edge. Exactly, Daniel. Yes. So I'm not telling you guys these things. Remember in November, how many of you have been following me since November? I bring the information. I tell you what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. In fact, sometimes I hesitate to say what I'm doing because I just want you to know this is what's happening. The way I look at it is there's always a John the Baptist before Jesus Christ. There's always somebody who is going to come first. Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. That's what we need right now. So you are observing and looking. We're not jumping into things. One of the biggest issues I think people are going to have is learning patience. Learning patience, because people are jumping into things and without really looking. And if you have XRP and you're going to go mint on Flare, I wouldn't advise you to mint all of your FXRP on Flare. Now I know with Sister Sharon's and Belief Bag, I really like their video. I like what those two ladies have done. But my own thing is, I would still do a 25% and watch how things go. Nothing just suddenly happens. When people are concerned about a sudden happening, it's fear, not faith. And we're supposed to move in faith, not fear. All right. So this is Doppler Finance. I'll show you some of the products here. Okay, no, that you see, this is coming soon with lending. About docs. You can just go check and see for yourself. I remember showing you crop tea a while back, which is you can deposit your let's see, crop tea. So this is crop tea. I shared this with you a while back, uh, early in the year, and when I started my channel. These are some of the things I went through in night seasons. I'll be on here till 9:30, 10, sharing. People were joining me from all over the world. It was quite cool. And a year later, I'm still here doing it. I'm telling you. So these are all things. This has been on for a while. There's also you hodler. I've shared that with you as well. You hodler, you know, from way back in the day. There you go. These are all showing you what's coming, and so I wouldn't jump into any of these things. You know, if you don't have $1 million to burn, buy, trade, and grow your digital assets in the Swiss Smart Wallet. Not all countries have access to this, but some countries do. So you want to look at it and tell you and learn. And just again, is just to learn and see what's happening and how things are likely going to change. Yeah. Yes, you can connect with Decent to Doppler Finance, but it's good for learning. I'm saying again, watch this. It may not be available in Texas or in Washington or New York for US people, but guess what? You learn because somebody's going to open it. Remember how the Biden administration kicked Nexo out of the US, and our administration here kicked. They didn't let Caleb and Brown come into Canada. You know, that's to tell you this is where things are going. They'll find somebody in Canada who can do that, right? And they'll give them a license. They'll find somebody in the US who can do that. They'll give them a license. This is just going to increase. But when you have the knowledge, you have momentum. That's all we're doing here, is to create this momentum so that as you go forward, you can connect your Decent wallet. I would always recommend not to connect with a hot wallet, but a cold wallet. Or you can use the interface of a cold wallet with your hot wallet um, into some of these apps. Once it's on the cold wallet, it's on the cold wallet. It's not going anywhere. What you don't want to do is import your seed phrases here and there with respect to your cold wallet. Never, never, never import your seed phrase, cold wallet seed phrase anywhere else. You want it to stay where it's at. But you can import your MetaMask. You can import your Rabi wallet. You can, any of your other wallets can go on different browsers. Even your WebAuth can go on different browsers, right? hmm Oh, right. Okay, okay. Exactly. I Chronicles, I really don't know, like commercial trucking. I don't know what you would do in this case, but these are some of the concerns that I have again with the industry. Is like there's people screaming and saying, hey, that's why I would be very patient with respect to what we're seeing right now. Um, Regulation is very important. Because even in regulation, banks collapse, things happen, they bail out with people's money, bailing over people's money. So I want to be holding my stuff in a cold wallet. There's nothing anybody can tell me right now that is going to be very satisfactory for me. The cold wallet is still the way to go. Um, you want to have your remember, Tangem also gives you an option where you can create your seed phrases before you with Tangem. You can do that before you set it up fully. They've given that option. So because the concern I have with Tangem is so easy to use, but you can easily lose your thing. So that's why they have the backup, right? You always have 2 or 3 cards so that you can have. Actually, I have 3 here. So in the event that in the event of loss, you always have them all set up, and you can easily get your stuff back. But it's important, I think, if you're buying a Tangem, just set up your seed phrases with what they have now, with the update that they've done. You can do that. All right. So yeah, that's a good one. So Chain Capital 1K XRP. Yes, I mean, like I would hold what I have, but if you can add, why not? If you can buy some meme coins, why not? Like, it's a continuous process. I spent a 2-year period where I didn't buy XRP, and I could have been adding on, even from a paycheck, just a little at a time. I look back and I say, oh, I should have done that, because the prices were low. It didn't it wouldn't have hurt, 50 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. You just keep, a little bit at a time. And if you don't want it, you can give it to somebody, you can give it to charity, you can help somebody with it. So, yeah. So those are the things I wanted to talk about. And any questions, ask me anything, and then let's go from there. Oh, I said I was going to talk about the my prediction or what I think. So based on what I'm looking at and everything, I'm still expecting a $27 XRP before the end of the year. Honestly, I know that looks impossible. I know that looks like it's crazy to say. But let me ask you a question. In crypto, haven't you seen times where you remember in August when Wikicat did that crazy rally? It went from a very tiny market cap all the way. Was it 8 million or 10, 20 million? I can't remember what it was. It went all the way to 250 million over a very short period of time. That was in August, right? Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong here. Tell me, remind me. But it was a very short period of time. 3 hours in crypto can be a lifetime, can be a life change. 3 hours, and you caught it in 3 hours, and it goes up to the highest high. You sell. As it's coming down, it comes down and loses 50% of what it was before it goes back to where it was before. It can happen. And some assets, now, some people say, well, I don't like that. Well, that's the reality of crypto in the non-regulated environment as we speak. Will that happen in regulated environment? Hey, new projects would always run, right? But it'd be difficult to start a new project in a regulated environment. But this is why you should buy now. Take advantage of the swings, as well as being positioned for when things go crazy. How long do you have to wrap out XRP with Flare to make residual income? Just go and read on their Flare assets thing. I honestly don't have all those answers. This is why this is a trial, right? So if I were you, what I'll do, I'll go. There is the F Assets page. Just go to F Assets online and read their documentation. It is quite the read, but it is clear. It's made simple to understand. It's not difficult. It is difficult to set it up if you don't know how to do it. If you're not new to crypto, crypto is wash, rinse, and repeat. It is what it is. That's what it is. So yeah, I wanted to. I'm praying for it. I'm believing it. Join me in prayer. Why don't you type a prayer there? XRP should run to a good price before the end of. So that's a 10x. So let me tell you why I think so. Okay. So I'm not just sitting here prophesying. I'm only telling you what I think can happen and why. Are you ready to know why? I have 38 minutes here. Should I go ahead and tell you why I think so? Let me hear a yes, and then I will say so. Can 7 people tell me yes? And then I will go ahead, because, I don't want to say what you don't want to hear. Yes, D Block, just you would be so happy you read it. I'm telling you, let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. I'll just give it to you here. So if you're new to all this, here you go. And go to the left panel and read what is F assets, read all of that, right? Read all of that. And if you need help, yeah, when I get to, on my Patreon, I'll be doing some of that as well to help people get really established in it and explaining it. Please smash the like button. Yes, people. That's how you get people in, by smashing the like button. Spill the beans. Jay, how you doing? Is this Jay Mirza or another Jay? Because I don't know if this is my beloved friend Jay Mirza. Okay. Okay, so thank you, D Block. Yeah, just study it. It's there. It's public information. Do I think XRP will go back? I don't think so. There are prophecies that it will drop to 26 cents, 17 cents, but it'll be a flash crash. Look, if you have your stuff inside the a cold wallet, here's what I will ask you to do. You can set buy limit orders for a flash crash to 10 cents, to 20 cents, to 15 cents, whatever you feel like, pray about it. If you're a believer, I'm a Christian. So if you didn't know, I'm a minister, I'm a Christian. I'm not a minister first, I'm a believer first, I'm a follower of Jesus first. And I believe in praying and asking God to share, to show me things. The scripture says the Holy Spirit will show us things to come. Sometimes he will not tell you directly, he may tell you through somebody else. It all depends. He knows how you are, who you are, and how he should show you things. And let's come to God with a pure heart, cleanse ourselves of everything that would hinder us to hear from him clearly, and he will show us. All right, Jay. Good, good, good. Yeah, yeah. So before utility kicks in, utility is already in, but not with the laws and regulations. Once the laws are in place, and I think they're going to work quickly to try to get it in place before November 25. But you never know with the way things go, politics, games, people hedging their bets, different parties wanting, um, their own deal to go through. It's all a mess, the corruption in the world. But you know what? It's still going to happen. So here's what I think. Here's what I think. Um, here's what I think. Um, Larry Wilson says you can never have enough XRP. Well, I think I think you can. I think you can get to a place where the rich man who was he kept up loading and loading and loading and saying, "Oh, I'm going to," So I think the most important thing is, as people, we should, we all have different. It's almost like saying everybody can have as much as they want. No, I don't think so because people have different. All fingers are not equal. Some people have an income of $150,000 a year, and somebody else has 50,000. I know somebody who stacked a lot of XRP with minimum wage, but what happens is that they had a revelation, and the Lord said to them, "Start buying." And they were buying from 2016, and now they've stacked up such an immense amount of XRP. Unbelievable. But they obeyed the voice they heard, and from their tips, they kept putting it, putting it, putting it, putting it. Yeah, yeah. So okay, so let me tell you why I'm thinking in that regard. So this is how I'm thinking. Okay, number one is that you we have the XRP spot ETFs. So if that takes 8 billion, 10 billion, whatever, okay? Because the spot ETFs are going to hold your XRP, all right? So I'm going to give you three reasons why I feel that way, okay? I'm watching the past. The past is usually a very important ingredient, right? And tool for unlocking the present problems and future direction. So if you look at what happened with the Bitcoin spot ETF just in 2024, what happened? Bitcoin shot up, right? Now, you can say Bitcoin has only 21 million, all right? So institutional buying pressure would occur, leading to a price what? I mean a supply shock. So the second thing is because of the enhanced accessibility. Now, see, right now there's access. You can buy XRP if you want. But I'm telling you, the hedge funds, they have their customers. Some of them have like 150,000 clients. Those clients are human beings like you and I. They trust their hedge fund managers. They may be putting money in XRP right now, but they're not putting it the way you and I are putting it, right? They're like, okay, I have 2 million with my broker. I have 3 million over there with my broker. And what is all this thing about crypto? What am I hearing? Because they're already getting the 5%. They're already making money. So they're not as excited as people are about this new thing. So the hedge fund manager says, wait, we're still coming. Let me tell you, Fidelity, as at 2020, had already opened a crypto desk, and they already wrote all of their clients saying, if you are, we're going to be opening a crypto thing 2021. They kept on emailing and preparing people, and I'm telling you, they're ready. So but they've been doing this. I actually opened not an account, and I registered my email, and I was receiving all the email because I don't think they're looking at where people are coming from. But it's when you now want to open an account and register your address and zip code that it shows that, oh, you're not in America. Sorry, we can't do business with you. You see what I mean? So for a while, I have been studying what's going on with all these people. So those hedge fund people, they're waiting and watching. That's what when they say institutional money, that's what they're talking about. So that's the first, and the second thing is the trust that comes from those who are already in hedge funds, those who are already invested in all of these things, they are going to be the ones that will come in. Their money is coming into Flare because you are going to have BTC. They're already in BTC, the spot ETF with BTC. They're going to move those funds because all it takes is, they have a consultation with there'll be so many consultations over the phone going on with brokers, and they'll say, hey, can you move this for me? Can you do this for me? Right? Okay, so hedge fund managers are going to shock the ETF world. And number three is the historical precedent. All right. I said it before. Bitcoin surged 150% post spot ETF launch. Now, will XRP do 150%? I don't know. Right. Will it do a 10x? I don't know. But this is why I expected $27. This is the first thing, is the spot ETFs. The second is the favorability of the US government to crypto. And don't forget, when President Trump, made that Truth Social post where he said XRP, Solana, and Cardano will be in the what? Stockpile. He wasn't joking. When he said that, he meant everything that he was saying. And they basically, it appears, see, if you and I are friends and we're in a room and we're having a conversation, or there's 5 of us there, you are likely going to hear, when somebody comes out of that room, you're going to hear snippets of the conversation they were just having just a moment ago. Trump and his team were talking about the digital asset stockpile. And as he came out of that meeting, he tweeted or posted the first thing that was the last thing that was on his mind out of that meeting. And that's why he changed the tweet right away, or the post right away, and said, I like Bitcoin and Ethereum too, because people with Bitcoin and Ethereum who have been waiting for a digital stockpile, even though the US government said we're not going to purchase additional Bitcoin. Do you see? Think it means they're going to purchase XRP, Solana, and Cardano. This is why I still believe Cardano will shoot to $48, $50, $70 like that. And I believe Solana will get to 3,800, 5,000 like that. Why? But Solana will easily get there because Solana has 500 million supply. What is Cardano's supply? You can check that too. But with XRP, there's 100 billion with 50, a little less than half in escrow. So that's my second reason. And the third reason why I'm expecting at least a $27 XRP before the end of the year, I know we have only a few weeks to go, is the fact that there's always going to be FOMO. Retail FOMO is one. Institutional FOMO is another. Now, there are different kinds of institutions. There are institutions like the banking and non-banking financial institutions. They can't move without laws. But you have institutions that are smaller, on a smaller scale, doing different things. Say a big construction company that's like, man, this thing is going, they can just ask their broker, can you, the owners are a family, they do work of multi-million dollars, and they like to also invest in the name of their organization because, they can spend in the name of the organization if those digital assets do well. What's wrong when a business owner buys a property, right? And it's in the business's name. When they sell and they're parting out the proceeds, when they decide to end everything, whatever was capital appreciation for the asset and anything else, right? Land, whatever, some of it will come to. Do you see what I'm saying? So in the same way, there'll be FOMO from all this middle level, I don't know what to call them. There's a lot of money that will flow in. So the FOMO is what takes a particular asset. Now we're talking about XRP today. I could have said the same thing about XLM, and I'll say that before I close tonight, that XLM, I think, will surprise a lot of people. People are not, you don't hear from XLM. Nobody seems to talk about it. It's just there like a quiet tiny mouse in the corner. But XLM is a giant, and it's going to be as valuable as XRP, in my own opinion. Maybe not the same number as far as price is concerned, but the ROI will be as good. And how much is XLM today? It's cheap. It's like 32, 33 cents, 31 cents. I don't even know. I haven't checked, but it's cheap. So that's where you want to go. So XLM, I said I was mentioning, and that's what I'll do. That's my mention and I'm done. All right. D Block says when to man, Larry Wilson, I can't read I can't read. There's a lot of stuff from you here. I wasn't looking at the comments. The reality is any crypto project you assess that's likely to go up and value for the next 4 years and go with that. I'm more bullish on HBAR than XLM. Good. Go with what you are bullish on. I think all of the ISO cryptos are great. On the low end of XRP in 2030 would be $5, but possibly 50 or more. I agree. I have a question. Is it worth having Roth IRA for crypto? Ask the Americans. I don't want anything to interfere with my right now. Before regulation, I will just keep my stuff in a cold wallet and do some DeFi. That's what I personally will do, because there's also here in Canada, they're telling people, go put your money in this, go put your money in that. The last thing I want to do is to put my assets in a place I can't pull it out of easily. You have to sell to get it out, or else they'll hit you with a fee that you will not be comfortable with. Hold it, control it for as long as you can until regulations are in place. That's what I would say. Patience is a major virtue, Larry Wilson says, especially in an emergent sector like blockchain, because a lot of people miss out in the long run. Agreed. Maxis had a tantrum. Johnny, a lot of these big financial firms and others sign a non-disclosure agreement, so they are not going to talk about what's really happening to you. Exactly, Larry. Yes, Cardano D-Block, I agree. Right. He did the American people a favor by sharing that tweet. Oh my God. What do you think about ETN Electronium? In a dream recently, I saw you go to, yes. D-Block, I would buy ETN at the drop of a hat. So these are the two cryptos that I felt the Lord put on my heart to buy more of recently. There's three of them. I haven't bought any of one, but the first one is Solana. On May 17, 2020. The Lord spoke to me in the hotel in Nigeria. I was just about to leave, check out, go do some visitations before we go to the airport for our flight out of the country, my wife and I. And the Lord spoke to me in a dream, and I believe that. Well, I wouldn't say that dream was not go buy Solana. He showed me where it was going, and then I had to make a decision. And I have kind of studied Solana ever since, and I saw what opportunities there are and what needs to be done. It's not cheap to enter into, but you also have to understand that 10 Solana is already some good money. 20 Solana is good, some good money. So I'm trying to sense the timing of things. The second one is XLM. Recently, at about 4 a.m. in the morning, I heard clearly about XLM, and I said, "All right, I'm going to buy XLM." And then the other one was Electronium. The day I woke up, it was last week. I went to the watch. I usually wake up at night, and sometimes I'm awake for an hour, 2 or 3 at night. So and I'm okay. I'm well. Don't think I'm unhealthy, because some people would be like, "Ooh, what are you doing up at night?" So I went into the restroom, and on my way back, I heard um, myself asking myself, "Where can I get more funds at this time to stack up on Electronium?" I said, why did I just say that to myself? Okay, well, I knew where that was coming from. So that morning at 10:30 a.m., I was in the office, and I got a phone from Pastor Keith and of Iton Entertainment. And he says, hey, do you have a moment? Can we just pray? I said, all right. He says somebody had a dream on Electronium, happened to be another prayer partner. We pray regularly in Honduras. So we got onto the phone and we began to pray. But first of all, she shared her own dream, and it was very concise, and I realized, okay, this is why I had that encounter earlier on in the day at 4 a.m. So yes, if you find yourself awake at night and you're just awake, your eyes pop open, the Lord wants to tell you something. You know, just in most cases, I'm telling you, just Psalm chapter 4 verse 4, just be still on your bed and meditate in your heart, commune with your heart, with your spirit on the bed, and say, Lord, I'm here. Is there anything you want to tell me? Is there anything you want to show me? If you don't know how to pray at that time, just start praying, just start talking to God. Say, I'm awake, I'm here for you. Or be quiet, let him initiate the conversation. If you're a child of God, I'm telling you, Psalm 17 verse 3 says, you visit me in the night. You visit me in the night. God visits us at night, but most people are too stone cold to even know that there's a visitation occurring. And also the prophet says the voice of the Lord came to me early in the morning, or the word of the Lord came to me early in the morning. Ezekiel said it, Isaiah said it, Jeremiah said it, I mean, there's something about that those wee hours of the morning when the voice of the Lord will come and tell you things. And recently, the Lord showed me something that was very poignant about how churches are attacked. And I, you know what, I had known it, but it was so clear when He showed it to me, and it really strengthened my resolve. So even with cryptos, you can pray about it and just get a yeah. So HBAR is good, XLM is good. Any of the ISO cryptos, Algorand is massive. I mean, like people talk about Miota, IOTA, all of them because they have parted out the financial world. So this is why you don't say, "Oh, I prefer this one to that one." Well, get what you want. Don't come. People should not go. Don't go into a space saying, I never do that because I know that they are all of immense value. So I don't really. But just do your studies and go with the one that you prefer. But all of them will do very well in the next little while. Yeah. So D block, that's very powerful. Yeah. Yeah, right now I'm not investing in AI coins, but I will research into them as the year closes. Gaming, AI, robotics, all those types of things. I think we should be looking into them. But I'll be very happy to see a spike so that we can take some of that money and invest. People are tired of waiting and tired of But the funny thing is that the most tired people are the ones who have been in for 1 year. And I don't know why. An investment should take time. Yes, Psalm 17 and verse 3. Have you checked it out? I think that's what it is. Yes, if you read it in the King James, it says, Thou visitest me in the night. D block, it could be a dream, it could also be a physical manifestation. You could see your door opening and somebody walking into your room at 2 o'clock in the morning, a real figure, like a human. What are you going to do? Yeah. So, wow, 777. That's a good one. Somebody else saw. Uh, so what you need to say is, "This is what I saw." Don't say because somebody else saw XLM at $4,399. Do you see what I'm saying? D block. Do you see what I'm saying? So somebody else saw XLM, and that person I have is a very solid person. He's when it comes to prophetic. So you saw H bar, but do you see what I'm saying? Somebody else can see a crypto at 1,000, but they bought it at 0.001. So their ROI will be far more than somebody who bought Solana at $200 for one, and Solana goes to 4 or 5,000. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's the people are seeing different things because God is giving information to all of us to prepare us so that we can take position. If that makes sense, yeah. Um, we've talked about that. You have to scroll back, but just in summary, we're just saying there's more to it. It's just not, oh, how many is enough? The first question you have to ask is, what do you want? If you want to have and I recommend that people should have at least $100,000 goal of income as they go towards, not working or anything. In addition to something you are doing, if you are still healthy and strong, you should be doing something. So exactly. So yeah, so God shows some people things, and then they know that they write it down. Somebody bought a crypto at 0.002, and the Lord showed them that it was going to $50. Well, somebody else now comes and said, "No, I bought my crypto. What I saw is better than what you saw." No, what you saw is for you, and maybe the people in your circle. What I saw is for me. Excuse me, and the people in my circle, just like that. So we can compare notes. We know in part and we prophesy in part. Yeah. So excuse me. So some people might have seen. Yeah, imagine somebody who bought XRP at 0.006, less than 1 cent. Yeah, yeah. Somebody saw ETN at 6.99. I mean, I don't know, but XLM always tracks with XRP. Uh, XPR may be a little limited because it's operating within an ecosystem that is, I mean, it's credit unions. But the credit unions, the good thing about it is that you can get a lot of it now at it's so cheap. It's less than a cent. It's the only ISO crypto that is less than 1 cent. Yeah. So they're all going to do well. All the ISOs will do very, very well. I mean, it's like having land. Yes. Yeah, like it's like buying land on the strip before Las Vegas was built, or on Manhattan, before New York became what it is, right? So I would just, okay, well, thank you, everyone. It's been a glorious night. 1 hour of conversation. Wow. 1 hour goes so fast, doesn't it? Yes. Thank you very much for your time. Again, if you would like to join us in Houston, I'm putting out a video tomorrow. I think we got one spot or two left. Let me know, email me, and then we can talk about you joining us for a 4-day crypto immersion. It's 3.5 to 4 days, so to speak, starting on Thursday morning at 9:30, all the way through to Sunday afternoon, and we're done. So, VIP one-on-one conference, send me an email. The email is right there in the what you see scrolling, aircrew.agility5p@icloud.com, and I will send you information. If you're looking for information about meme coins, you can buy meme coinology. Just go to memecoinology.io, and you can get a package, a recording of our meme coinology conference at the end of September. It was very well attended. I really enjoyed it, and just sharing with people on there. Memecoinology.io. Let me see, somebody's commenting here. Sydney's family says thank you. Yes, Sydney, God bless you. Where are you from? Where are you guys from? Sydney, where are you? D Block, where are you? Ocean front property. Oh my God, that's so funny. Big dreams. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I mean, that's why, like H bar, even like, my God, at $700 for H bar, yeah, that's a lot of money. I'm telling you, it's such. People are just going to be shocked. Like, what happened here? How did this happen? How did it happen? What? Yes, Chris, you're very welcome. Thank you. Hey, King Jaquin, how you doing, sir? God bless you. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will talk to you soon. Uh, yeah, expect some stuff on Patreon. I'm ready to rumble. I will do more lives on Patreon as well. And the lives, everybody can access the lives. Some of the other in-depth things would be behind a paywall. But I thank you all for joining. God bless you.